Vedanta Dindimastatvam Ekam Udghoshayanti Yat Astham Purastat Tejah Dakṣiṇāmūrti Sangitam. As you know, before writing any text, always we seek the grace of the teacher, teaching tradition, and of course the Lord. Because we do not know whether we are going to complete or not. Moreover, here when author writes a text, especially those days, not like nowadays, imagine you write on the palm leaf. After spending a lot of time, you have put it and you have allowed to keep it. A aja means a goat comes and eats up everything. Forget out aja. Even if you have kept in the almirah, white ant comes and destroys everything. So there is no guarantee that it is going to be survived. And moreover, what is the guarantee that it will reach the next generation, next person? So keeping all these things, in short, all the X factors in mind, we seek the grace of the teacher, teaching tradition, and the Lord. And here, as the traditional approach continues this way, while seeking the grace of the teacher, expressing the gratitude, while seeking the grace of the teaching tradition, feel good that we are part of such a great teaching tradition, and of course seeking the grace of the God, we make sure let it continue, the flow, pravaham, let it happen. So here, as usual, says that look, Vedanta Dindima. So this, based on this, the text. So when it says Vedanta Dindima, so the drum beats especially of this Vedanta. So what does it say? Udghosayanti iti. So it proclaims loudly, it announces loudly, it repeatedly tells, like how the drum beat, tuck, dum, 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 it creates some type of vibration in the heart. And as we discussed earlier, whatever emotions that we have, based on that emotion, this drum beats literally exaggerates, accelerates. So here, when this drum beat of the statement of different Vedas, especially Upanishadic teachings, do proclaim. So what is that proclamation? He says, Yat Yekam Tattvam iti. So it does not talk anything other than this word. He says, look, it only talks about one reality, Ekam Tattvam iti. There is no duality at all. There is only one truth. There is only one reality. So the truth has to be one. Truth cannot be two. If there are two truths, that both of them do not call as either truth. So that's why Ekam Satyam iti. So always Ekam Satyam, here Ekam Tattvam, the truth, the reality. And that is what is being proclaimed that is what is being announced, that is what is being highlighted, that is what is being communicated in all the Upanishadic teachings, in short called Vedanta. So because the same statement or same meaning is being communicated differently, it is like drum beating. Even though you beat the drum in different places, different ways, but sound is almost the same. So how that sound comes, same thing also, the Upanishadic teaching, whatever talks, wherever, the purpose is only one, to communicate that there is one reality. So when it talks about one reality, says beautifully, and of course, here brings this beautifully, this Mangalacharanam. I understand this is a unique Mangalacharanam that I have come across. Because in this unique Mangalacharanam is auspicious invocation. So here, this auspicious invocation highlights both Nirguna and Saguna aspect. Formless and form. It's a very nice thing to see. If you look at that in one reality, that Ekam Tattvam, so that highlights about Nirgunam. And also the word Dakṣiṇāmūrti. Then he says, next line he says beautifully, if we try to see, that Astam Purastat Tattejah Dakṣiṇāmūrti Sangitam iti. So that means what? Tat Tejah. So that brilliance is called what? Dakṣiṇāmūrti Sangitam iti. So what means? That is denoted by the name of Dakṣiṇāmūrti. And says beautifully, invoking this thing at Purastat Astamiti. So Purastam Astamiti may stay. Purastat means before. So Astam may stay before us. Now that brilliance, Tejaha, the expression of Chit, Svabhavaha, let that it be with me, and which is called as Dakṣiṇāmūrti. The word Dakṣiṇāmūrti again explains Saguna aspect, Saguna Brahma and also Nirguna Brahma, both. As all of you know, if we look at Dakṣiṇāmūrti as such, generally we look at that Dakṣiṇāmūrti is the Jnana avatar of Lord Shiva. That's why whenever we chant Sadasiva Samarambha Shankaracharya Madhyama Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Parampara, especially in Shankara tradition we do. If anybody is Ramanujacharya or Madhvacharya, so instead of Sadashiva they will say Narayana Samarambha. So they change little bit here and there. So whether it is Narayana or Shiva, let us not get into that conflict here. So here is that the first teacher is the first father. That is how we look at it. If I ask you who is your first father, generally people ask, who is your first teacher? In return we ask, tell me who is your first father? So the first father and the first teacher has to be one and same. There cannot be any difference. So we look at Lord Shiva as a Jnana avatar, and especially Dakṣiṇāmūrti. Why Dakṣiṇāmūrti? Dakshina dik abhimukha murtihi yasya. This is what the definition is. So here Dakshina means direction. So direction means southern direction. So that means he who faces towards the southern direction. So that means what? The one whose face is facing towards southern direction. Why? What is the significance of southern direction? South. Generally, north stands for freedom, liberation. Whereas south stands for karma, samsara. Interestingly, we look at South stands for karma and samsara. And of course, here we also say very carefully, especially in Indian culture we have, you will be shocked to know this. Even if we do not do namaskaram to anybody while facing south, we don't eat while facing south. Even if by mistake, if you take a medicine, you are not supposed to face towards south. You are not supposed. So what they do is, if they understand south, they will turn the head like this, okay, you understand? So to make sure that the direction is being changed, that bad. And of course later on, this Vastu people created a big mess, that if any plot is south facing or any flat is south facing, the price goes down. That is not right, okay? That is technically they're not sound. Why and how, that is another point. In fact, if I remember clearly, this point I had talked in Vishwamitra International Award, that prior to that Vastu seminar. So if you can access, you can see in details. However, coming to the point. So here, when south stands for, southern direction stands for Kalam, Lord Death, Yamaha, Samsara. Now here, the teacher faces towards the south. And when the teacher faces towards south, the student has to face towards north. Means the student is interested in only what? In liberation. No, you can say, no, I want to sit in the same line. You understand? Facing same. People should see me. It doesn't work. That's why, if you observe, I would like to tell you in puja concept also, we make it very clear that if the deity is very powerful, and if you do not have that sort of prana, you cannot do puja while facing the deity straight way. Not really good. You need to have that sort of prana to deal. So there what we do generally, when the deity is facing towards, let us say, east, generally, commonly. So by default, the person who does the puja will be facing towards north. So that's why, in fact, we have different ways also. Incidentally, I would like to say, when we do namaskaram, because every action being, let us say, action, it has its own result, karma phalam, and it has to bring both. So namaskaram brings also different things. For example, if you are doing namaskaram to somebody, especially Guru and others, while keeping your head towards north, it gives knowledge, it helps to get liberation and punyam. So only this much, sorry. If you are facing towards, your head towards eastern direction, there you get punyam, virtues. So that you are taken care later on. So in short, you can say that astrally you are taken care. And whereas if you keep facing towards west and do namaskaram, you will get prosperity. In fact, many people say, Swamiji, will you please face towards east so that we can face towards west so that we will get something? I said, wow, there are people, because sometimes, they turn me. You cannot believe it, okay? Swamiji, will you please stand this way? I want to do namaskaram. What? For your namaskara sake, I have to keep dancing, huh? Anyway, that's a joke apart. And generally, we do not do namaskaram while facing southern direction at all. So in short, when this is the first meaning of Dakṣiṇāmūrti, so that means the teacher who faces towards the south to teach what is kalam, what is time, so that I can go beyond time. So that is called Dakṣiṇāmūrti. And of course, the second popular meaning of Dakṣiṇāmūrti is the one who is Dakṣinascha, Amrutischa. So when he says Dakṣinascha, Amrutischa, means the one who is Dakṣina, means Samartha, capable. So capable of what? So capable of Srushti, Sthiti, Laya, Karyeshu iti. So with reference to the creation, the person is capable of what? Creation, sustenance, and of course dissolution. And of course again Amurti. So the one who is formless. So that means being formless has to be truth of everything. So because it is truth of everything, it is not like magician becomes a formless. So but being truth of everything, it becomes Amurti, becomes formless. So that's why this is the second popular meaning of Dakṣiṇāmūrti. And of course, again in Dakṣiṇāmūrti Upanishad, it is being talked very nicely that Dakshina is being defined as enlightened mind. And of course, in there it is being highlighted very carefully. Now, the one whose form means murtihi, or you can say truth, is perceived only by a Dakshina, means by an enlightened person. So that means the truth only can be perceived by the enlightened person. That is also Dakṣiṇāmūrti. And of course, we also look at very carefully, clearly. Dakshina means favorable, auspicious. So that means the Dakṣiṇāmūrti, the Lord, is always kindly disposed to the devotees and seeker of that knowledge. That's why, in fact, we say very carefully, we have this thing very nicely, we say, suppose you have some difficulties, especially in South India, they do it. And you will discover on Thursday, they will go to the Lord Shiva temple, where one side, the south side, there is, Dakṣiṇāmūrti statue, or every Shiva temple, they will put, this, one particular mala, they will put it, okay? That white chana. And they offer it. So through that, they take care of their, this planet problems. In fact, that's what we say. I cannot forget one boy, is an amazing fellow. He has got different color of dress, different days. So one day I was shocked to see him that on Saturday he was completely dressed black. I said, what nonsense, what are you doing? Today is Saturday. I said, what does it mean? Yeah, based on the day, I choose my color. There are people, don't worry, okay? However, on Thursday, if you use white dress, which is very good for Guru's grace. In fact, putting the sandal paste on the forehead regularly, and if you can manage little bit kesaram, saffron on that chandanam, in that sandal paste, and put on your forehead, I am sure your Guru's position will be higher, Guru's grace will be stronger. So these are many things we take care, because remember, even if all your planets are other way around, if Guru's grace is there, you will be taken care. There is no doubt in it. Whereas if all the planets in very high position, if Guru is down, I'll tell you, there will be only and only confusion. However, looking at all these things, Dakṣiṇāmūrti. So he says beautifully, Dakṣiṇāmūrti Sangitam iti. So that means that which is denoted. So now we need to see this thing. Let the grace of Dakṣiṇāmūrti, let Dakṣiṇāmūrti bless me. Let may be before us, may it be before me. So once Dakṣiṇāmūrti is with me, physically I am blessed, mentally I am taken care, and of course knowledge wise also I understand what is the truth all about it. So in short, the first verse very nicely and carefully highlights the essence of the teaching, that how the teaching can flow in me through seeking the grace. That's why whenever and wherever I get an opportunity to seek the grace of the Lord, let me not miss this opportunity. More of it we'll see tomorrow. Please close your eyes. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.